Hi everyone, it's Tatiana from Tatiana's Everyday Food and welcome back to my kitchen. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my recipe for cappuccino cupcakes with Kahlua buttercream. And these are just as good as they sound. I love all the rich coffee flavor in these cupcakes, and then you get a kick of Kahlua from the buttercream. This is such a great and simple recipe. You will absolutely enjoy it. And that's why today's recipe makes for a total of 24 cupcakes. I know that sounds a lot, but they're gonna be gone in absolutely no time. I like to share my extras with my neighbors, and I'm sure yours would love that as well. I'm gonna start by preparing my cupcake batter first. So into a large bowl, I'm gonna mix in by hand 2 cups of white sugar. I have 1/3 cup of butter, and I've softened this to room temperature. I'm gonna add 3 large eggs. And I'm gonna add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm gonna mix all these ingredients in by hand until I have a nice and smooth mixture. And now let's mix our dry and wet ingredients. So in my bowl here, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. To this, I'm gonna add 3½ teaspoons of baking powder. And I'm gonna add 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Just use a spoon and combine all this together. And then for my wet ingredients, I have 1.5 cups of buttermilk. And to the buttermilk, I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of instant coffee. I'm gonna sprinkle that in, and then use a spoon to stir it until that coffee is completely dissolved. I'm gonna use a fine mesh strainer to add in the flour. So I'm gonna alternate adding the flour with the buttermilk. So I'm gonna add a little bit of flour, sift that in so we don't have any clumps. Give this a good stir. And then I'm gonna add in a little bit of my buttermilk. All right, so I have my batter all done now, and I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I have lined my cupcake pan with some liners. So I'm gonna use a large spoon and just spoon in the cake batter. I'm gonna do about 3/4 of the way full today. I'm gonna place these into the oven, and they need to bake for about 18 to 20 minutes or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. While our cupcakes are cooling, we could start on our buttercream. So today I'm gonna be using 4 sticks or 2 cups of unsalted butter. I'm gonna place them into my mixer bowl and then mix them on high speed until I have really light and fluffy butter. And now for our coffee flavor. So I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of Kahlua liqueur. So if you don't wanna use anything alcoholic, you can always just substitute this with coffee. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm also gonna add a few tablespoons of cream. I'm gonna pour this right in. And now we can start adding our sugar. So I like to add the powdered sugar, about 1/2 cup at a time. And then just mix really well after each addition. And while you're making this buttercream, don't forget to scrape down the sides of the bowl so you get all that butter incorporated. Today I used 3 cups of confectioner sugar, but you can add more or less to your liking. And at the end, I'm gonna add just a sprinkle of salt. And this is gonna really round everything off. So give that one last mix with the mixer. My cupcakes have cooled completely, and I transferred my buttercream into a large pastry bag tipped with the star tip. And now we're ready to frost them. And now our cupcakes are all done. So if you're not eating them right away, place them into the refrigerator and keep them stored in there. And then when you're ready to eat them, take them out about an hour beforehand so that buttercream can soften up a little bit. And these just smell so good. While they're in the oven, my whole house just smelled like coffee. It just smells so delicious. All right, so let's peel away this wrapper here. Now I don't like too much buttercream, but you can add more or less to your liking. These are so good. I absolutely love all the flavors here. You get that rich coffee flavor in the cupcake. I want to say the cake is very moist and it's not too sweet. That's why that buttercream really complements it. You get a lot of that Kahlua flavor, and the buttercream is just so airy and so light. It's perfect for these cupcakes. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe. Don't forget to subscribe, share with all your family and friends, and I make pin boards on my Pinterest account for you guys so you can also share these online.